Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. It's so great to have you here. I am on behalf of Travel Professional News, homebasedtravelagent.com, and findahosttravelagency.com. I want to welcome you all today. My name is Joni Ogg, and I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time talking about anything other than this wonderful day and wonderful webinar we're going to have. I do want to let you know, though, folks, we are going to have a couple prizes that we're giving away at the end of the presentation. And so we will have some questions later on that we will give. So, and also during the presentation, when Jen does her presentations, she's really anxious to have people participate. So where you'll do that, so you know, and if you have any questions for Jen, it will be in the questions area that you see on the right-hand side of your screen. You are all muted, and so just so you know that, just so that there's no background noise or anything like that. But we do welcome your questions and your comments at any time, and you just put those in the questions area. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about Jen. Now, I know a lot of you know Jen from TPI, and Jen has a new gig that she's doing, which she's going to tell us all about today. But I'm going to give you a little bio. She is now the president of the newly launched franchise company, Vacation Planners, and she's leading a bold transformation in the travel industry. As you know, Jen is going to be exceptional. And with her entrepreneurial skills and unwavering let's get it done attitude, Jen is revolutionizing the future of travel agencies and vacation planning. And her mission is to embrace the best practices of the past while driving innovation for the future, ensuring a consistent and exceptional consumer experience. Now, Jen's unyielding dedication to the travel advisor community is fostered by her drive to elevate professionalism within the travel agency community with a vision for redefining how travelers experience the world. Now, y'all know Jen. If you've been on here before, if you haven't, you're in for a fun ride. She's an incredible speaker and a wonderful person. We love her. And so I want to welcome Jen. Jen, thank you for being here today.
Oh my God, thank you, Joni. I wrote that bio and boy, I'm impressed with myself. I'm ready to rock and roll. Hi,
I'm going to hire you. It's so good.
I know, gosh darn it. I'm really impressive. But hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. This has been my first webinar with you for several months as I've been focusing a lot of my time on launching Vacation Planners, which we are in the pre-launch phase, and I'm so excited about it. But today's webinar really is inspired by you, the travel advisor. It's interesting, you know, Joni, I'm getting up there in age. In about a month, I'm going to be 59 years old. I can't believe it. And it just seems like every single day when I go to bed, I have one thought, and when I wake up, it becomes clearer. And this webinar, and as I was putting it together for y'all, really was a combination of many times dreaming about what's really going on out there in the industry and what's next, like what is really going to revolutionize the industry. So hidden in plain sight, I chose that because these are things you've probably heard before, but I'm going to give you a different twist, and I'm also going to challenge you on many things. And just like I did back in my consulting days, I'm just going to tell you, just do what I tell you to do, and everything's going to work out just fine. So, Joni, as we get started, I'd love to hear from those that are listening. Anybody, is this their first time hearing from me, or you know, more than 5 times? So y'all go ahead and type that in as I really kind of get this party started. And I wanted to kind of start with my mission statement, and actually it's Vacation Planners mission statement. This is a franchise brand that we are launching. It's a sister company to TPI, and I have fought doing a franchise model for many years because I never like to do anything like anybody else. But I woke up one day and I said, oh, this makes total sense, because it really is about the consumer experience. I'm gonna dive deep into that and what it is that travel advisors really should be doing today to, you know, create the consumer experience that the consumer is actually looking for, but haven't been able to accomplish. So our mission, it's really my personal mission as well, is to elevate the professionalism within the agency community by embracing the best practices of the past. That old brick and mortar, do you remember that, Joni? There used to always be a travel consistency in your community, right? You went to your travel agency. Those that watch Amazing Race, they still go to travel agencies to get their flights, to get their airfare. And we lost something when we lost that brick and mortar as the norm. We lost something, but there were so many great best practices of diving deep into your community, being a cornerstone to your community where families travel together and neighbors travel together and new folks learn about one another. That's what travel is all about. So we're looking to take the best practices of the past and then tap into the innovation of technology and AI and everything that we know to be true, even additional curated experiences, tap into that so that we can create the future that has a consistent and exceptional consumer experience, not just an okay one. And the reason why the 7 pivotal decisions that we're going to talk about today are so important is that I'm going to say these are the 7 decisions that you as an individual advisor, whether you're with a franchise or not, and I'm building a lot of our franchise around this, it's to solve the consumer conundrum. Joni, aren't you tired, and everybody else, aren't you tired of hearing the what? Travel advisors still exist? What? The internet
Oh
didn't
yeah.
put them out of business? It's still being said. Like, why would I use
It's
a
hard to
travel?
believe, actually.
It is. It's really hard to believe. And all the headway that ASTA has made and all of us collectively have made, we're still so far off. I figured out why though, Joni. I have the answer, the solution, the consumer conundrum. If you think about it, if working with a travel advisor were a recipe in a cookbook, we'd be the industry serving up a different surprise casserole every single day. If you think about it, folks don't know how it looks. When you go to a plumber or you go to a dentist, you know kind of what's going to happen. When you go to your CPA, you kind of know what's going to happen. You think about it, guys, because we are so splattered and scattered and segmented and so hyper niched down in some cases or too generic in other cases, because there's not a model that the travel advisor community can actually settle into, the consumer has no choice but to constantly question the legitimacy of the profession. And we can only accomplish this not through regulation, because that's what a lot of people want us to do, regulate this. I don't think the government should be involved in half of the business that we're in right now, but it's not about that. It's really about having higher expectations on what and how we serve and create the travel planning experience. So those are these are going to be the 7 pivotal pivotal. Oh my God, I just said pivotal. I've been up since 4. Pivotal decisions that you guys can make, because that's the only shot we have, guys. That's the only shot we have in getting the consumer to finally look at this profession as a profession and attracting the right people to this profession. We have to have some consistency in the consumer expectation. All right, I'm off my soapbox.
Okay, so before you start, you
Yeah.
asked that question, so I want to answer your question because a lot of folks have typed in. So this is really interesting. There's a good number of first timers, and for those first timers, welcome. We're so glad you're here. There's a lot of people that have more than 5 with you. So tells us a couple things. The first timers, you're in for quite a ride today. The other folks, you are groupies, and I love that. Okay, so you have a combination going on here, girl, but very few, just 2 or 3. Most of them are more than 5 or just the first time.
Yeah. Well, welcome to everybody and welcome back to everybody. I love me a groupie all day long. So
Me too.
we're ready, is everybody ready? I want you to be ready to type or to write, and I'm going to have you start making some decisions while we're talking. Okay. And I want you to challenge me, because listen, sometimes I say things that aren't popular, but guess what? I don't care. I'm going to say them anyway, because it's for the betterment of the entire industry. And I literally wake up in the middle of the night thinking about you guys. So the very first pivotal decision that I notice most travel advisors and agency owners cannot answer this question. What are you building towards? In other words, are you building a business that you want to be able to sell one day for a profit? Are you building a business that's going to be able to replace your full-time income? Are you building a business that you want to be able to be financially secure enough to buy somebody else's business? Are you building, what are your business aspirations? Are you building a business because you want to be able to hand that down for generational wealth to a child of yours, a sister of yours? What are you building towards? You know, and my statement here is charting your business aspirations lays the foundation for your voyage ahead, because quite frankly, if you don't know, not even where you're going, I want to know what you're building towards. And this is a question that I asked during the Building Your Legacy event that I used to do for TPI all the time. And 90% of the folks that I would talk to, even people who've been in the industry for 20 plus years, would say, you know what, I don't know the answer to that. So right now, I want you to say, what are you building towards? And Joni, if any of them answer, I'd love to hear their answers. Or
Okay,
I
I've got
don't
one
know.
so far
Yeah,
from Richard, and Richard is saying building toward hopefully passing it on to his daughter, which is awesome.
that's awesome. Good.
Okay,
And get the word,
replace
get
full-time
the word hope.
income.
Yeah, replace, right? Hey, Richard, get rid of the word hopefully. Stop limiting yourself, buddy. You're going to do it. Hopefully she's
Okay,
interested.
yeah, I want to be financially secure. That's a good one.
Mhm.
Uh, Second income source to eventually be sole source.
So
Building
that's what
toward
you're building
replacing my professional career.
for.
Oh, this is good. Replace hubby's salary and
Oh,
then pass on the business to the family.
good.
Add to my retired income.
Excellent.
Passing it down to my daughters. I love that.
There you
Replacing full-time income, get more high-end luxury market financial freedom,
go.
and replace my other business, building for my family. I love that. I'm in that boat, folks, with a family business, and
Yeah.
we have our son running the business now, and it's just a great feeling to have built something and then watch him continue to succeed with it. It's just
Yeah.
awesome.
And I would,
Let's see.
all right,
Go ahead.
well, hang on. They're going to have other questions I have to ask. I answer in a minute. I would say for everybody else, guys, I want you to think of one of three ways. I'm building so that one day I can sell. I'm building so that one day I have a foundation to purchase another agency, or I'm building because I want to pass it down. Those are the only three answers I really want you to focus on. The rest of them are goals, right? So let's narrow it down. One of those three. So write that down. We won't test them on it though, Joni, okay?
No.
That's one pivotal decision. That's your first one. The second pivotal decision is to niche or not to niche. Boy, I go back and forth on this all the time. Sometimes I say it's important to be a generalist so that you can serve your clients where they are and where they want to be versus where you want to be. And other times I say it's important to niche so that you can be an expert in your field. What is important and the pivotal decision right now is go ahead and make that decision. I do want to niche, or I'm okay not niching. And what we mean by that is sometimes people get so hyper focused. I only work with folks who are retired that want to experience Asia via river cruise and 10 days on land. That's too nichey. Instead, ask yourself, who is it that I'm passionate about serving? I'm passionate about serving families. I'm passionate about serving retirees, solo travelers. I'm passionate about serving the LGBTQ community. I'm passionate about who are you passionate about serving? And then from there, you're going to be able to figure out what is it that they really need, right? What product, destination, travel style, what works best for them. And it doesn't mean that you only choose one, right? So make that decision. If you really do want a hyper niche, I only want to sell Disney, I only want to sell river cruises, you need to make that pivotal decision now, because everything else that you do, processes that you put into place, marketing that you put into place, all of that has to change. Because if you're going to double down on it, then double down on that sucker, and that's it. And you don't take on anyone else. McDonald's, we can learn from them. They try every few years to bring that stupid McRib out, and it just does not work. They are known for their burgers and fries and Happy Meals, right? Steak and Shake never went into the alcoholic beverage business because they're known for hamburgers and shakes, right? So you've got to be okay with knowing who you want to serve and what you want to serve them. So to niche or not niche, make your decision. Do I have anybody that's disagreeing with me? This is a good disagreement one.
Okay, I'm going to let you know.
Yeah. Sometimes I get, and if somebody's answering, if I say, who's your ideal client, which is so pedestrian, that question, who's your ideal client? And they say, oh, someone who sees my value. Okay, no, that's not your ideal client because they don't know what you do and you clearly don't know where you're trying to go. So ask yourself, who is it that I'm passionate about serving? That's a good way for you to do it. But you got to juggle your personal passions with your business dreams and goals as well. All right.
Okay, so this is interesting. I'm just going to share this one because I really I agree with this one. Gina says, she says, I don't disagree with you, Jen, but she says, however, this is always my very toughest decision. So she's being totally straight there. That's the truth of it is it's not an easy decision to make to niche or not to niche.
So thank you for saying, who was it? I'm so sorry, I didn't catch the name.
Gina.
Hey, Gina. Hey, Gina. I remember when I share this story all the time. When I was a consultant, I wanted to serve small business owners who were struggling to make the next best decision, right? That's who I really wanted to work with. I ended up having all different types of people who had products, people who were doing service-oriented businesses. But what happened was I realized some of those folks, they wanted to talk to me every single week. Others wanted me to play the role of accountability partner. Others wanted to go into a one-year contract with me. And I just didn't want to do that because it didn't bring me joy, because really what I wanted to do was help people make their next best decision. So I changed my marketing and my offerings to something very limited. And one of the most popular offering was a one-year consultation. And you got 1 hour with me, you paid me $1,000 and we spent 1 hour together on your business and we nailed it during that hour. What that did is it attracted the type of client that I found the most joy in serving. It also gave me an opportunity through them for them to pass my name on to everybody. So I didn't even have to market much anymore after that, right? It was just total word of mouth because I knew my stuff, I made it happen, I delivered the brand promise. So I think what happens is some people are like, aren't you afraid there are going to be people who aren't going to pay the $1,000? And wouldn't you rather have a one-year agreement where you have a guaranteed income, which is what all the other coaches and business consultants did? And I said, yeah, that would feel better. But quite frankly, it's not bringing me joy. So in business, it's got to make you money and bring you joy. You might get really nervous. Go ahead and change your marketing to who it is that you really want to serve and attract. And then if you decide to take somebody else on because they're a good one-off and you really enjoy them, you can do that as well. Now, I am not a believer in us telling people, I'm so sorry, I just can't get out of bed for anything less than $10,000. You need to build your team so somebody else can take care of them and you keep the money or have a great referral source. But good on you, Gina. Listen, you're not alone, friend. All right, then third, I don't know what number I'm on, I think 3. The third is to segment your database. Now more than ever, and I'm sure I'm hearing groaning as we speak, but now more than ever, consumers are expecting to be spoken to as if you just picked up the phone and called them, as if you know their entire life story, right? With the advent of AI, I know at Vacation Planners, we're going to be utilizing Turn as our CRM, which has an AI component to it. I just heard about some AI widget that you can attach to your landing pages that will actually change the photo and the word on the hero banner based on the person that just clicked on it. So Joni, you're in Phoenix, Arizona, and you're burning up hot, and it knows you're in Phoenix. It's going to show a picture of somebody being nice and cool, right? And saying, so tired of the heat in Phoenix, we got you covered, right? And then at that same
I love it.
yeah, that same landing page is going to change for, Billy who lives in Boston, and maybe it's freezing cold in Boston right now, and it's going to say, tired of, your frozen toes, let's get you to Mexico, right? So your database, you're not going to get that advanced in your database, but it's important that you slow down enough and segment your database to, let's start with the simple ones, prospects versus current clients. You can then take your clients and say, those that have traveled in the last 12 months with me, those who haven't traveled in the last 12 months. Then you can segment that down a little bit more by interviewing your clients. Hey, I'm calling for our annual checkup. Share with me the 3 places or the 3 things you want to do over the next 18 months, and then tag them in your CRM. Hopefully you're using a CRM. If you're not, you are screwed. I'm sorry, you have to use technology. But segment that database so let's just say you make that proactive consultant call or send an email and say 3 questions to answer so I can be on the lookout for you. Once they answer it and they say, yeah, I've always wanted to go on a river cruise. Now AMA Waterways comes out with this great promotion, or maybe a new river cruise that's coming out, a new itinerary or a new ship. You want to be the person that says, you told me you've always wanted to go on a river cruise. I just saw this from AMA Waterways. I think this is something we should talk about. It's segmented enough where they know you've remembered the previous conversation and have done something with it. There is nothing I hate more than somebody asking me for my birthday and they don't send me a card or an email. Don't ask me for my birthday unless you're going to do something with it, right? So segmenting your database is really, really important. All right, and that leads in. By all means, interrupt me, Joni, along the way. How's everyone doing out there?
Okay.
Okay, good.
They're good. They're good.
The next is technology. And here's the thing, it's time. There's no more excuses. There are so many great technology sources out there for you. If you are not with a host agency who has a strong technology partner, or a consortia who has a strong technology partner, and you're out there all by yourself doing it all on your own, you're behind. For those that are with host and with consortias and they offer all these great technology packages, take advantage of it. A tech blend, a 5-star tech blend, and solid workflows. In other words, it's not enough to just pay for Travel Joy, right? You've got to have the automations and the workflow built into it. And again, sometimes there are plenty of people I can think of. Teak is one of them. Travel Biz Boss is another. There's several companies out there that will actually write the workflows and the automations and the emails and upload them into your CRM so that you can, going back one slide, segment that database effectively and utilize that technology to ensure that you are tracking your clients in a way that they now know there is a great consumer experience. There's no reason for you to be one-offing an email, hey, your final payment is due. That makes you look unprofessional. It should automatically go out. Plus, it takes up too much time. You should have a series of 11 or 12 email follow-ups that are geared towards first-time cruisers, geared towards family on a cruise, geared towards their anniversary cruise, geared towards their all-inclusives, because that will do the work for you and you'll stay in front of your customer, and that is what elevates the consumer experience. And quite frankly, that's what's expected now. So technology is key. I feel like I'm yelling at them, Joni, but I'm just passionate. They know that though, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, here's the next one. It's time. You got to start charging fees, people. At the very, very least, cancellation and modification fees. If we ever want to be seen as professionals, you've got to make getting paid the norm, not the exception. And I should be hearing a lot of clapping in the background. Yes, we want to get paid, Jenn Lee.
Okay,
yes.
Let's see some clapping, folks.
Yes, give me some clapping.
There's no clapping emoji, but just clap.
Type the word clap.
Okay, so people are going, okay, clap. Yeah, they're saying that. Fees make all the difference. Yes on fees. Clap, clap, clap. Good. Thank you, Sharon, for the clap.
Thank you. So I'm gonna give you a little piece of advice. An advisor of TPIs, I love her. Her name is Ashley. This is how she came into the industry, and she said this, and I always give her credit for it. It's so good. She said, I look at fees as the fee that my clients are paying me to curate the right experience, curate and manage the right experience for them. I view commissions as the thank you from the travel partner for choosing them and managing our customer, our mutual customer together. And in reality, that's what it really is, guys. You should not be basing your business bottom line solely on one area of income, which is commission. Because as we've seen in the past, that could go away before you know it. Number one. Number two, back to the professionalism, back to elevating the professionalism. We're never going to be seen as pros if you don't start charging some sort of fee. have a fee schedule, and at the very least, charge modification fees. That means they've booked, they've done their payment, and 4 days later they want to change something. That's a $50 modification fee. Once I receive that fee, I'll make the change. And cancellation fees, even if they have insurance or it's fully refundable, you still did all the work. It's $100 per person cancellation fee if you cancel. If all you do are those two things, you will have already taken your business, that's a great decision, taking your business up multiple levels, not just from an income standpoint, but also from a professionalism. All right, who
I
wants
got a
to?
couple comments I want to share with you.
Yes, good.
One of them
Love
is Gia says, I'm finally getting people to pay my $500 per person concierge fee. Go girl. That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Yeah, me too. And then another person says, I really hate, and that's in capitals, seeing all this I'm free stuff. Start charging cancellation fees and charge chain fees. So I think you've got a convert there that's already been doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the thing is you can also use that as a what's the word I'm looking for, as a way to serve your customers, right? We have it. I have advisors that say they put that in there and they say, you know what? I tell you what, you've been a long time customer, or gosh, I know you're really going through a tough time. I'm going to go ahead and get with my manager and waive that cancellation fee for you, right? At our agency, remember that's how you're supposed to introduce yourself. You own an agency. At our agency, we do have a $100 per person cancellation fee, but let me do this. Let's go ahead and take care of that this time, or we'll put that towards your next trip or whatever. It gives you a chance to surprise and delight your clients. If you don't charge fees, then what are you going to give them? Nothing. You can't do anything, right? All right, so charge fees. Next, now, hire humans. Now, I'm really going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say we need to start hiring humans, not just utilizing ICs, independent contractor support system folks. I've talked to several of TPI's advisors and agency owners, and they are starting to see the value of actually bringing on an employee. Number one, you get a chance to kind of control the expectation and the output. Number two, it becomes an asset for you if you want to sell your business. It also makes you more appealing if you're going to go pitch maybe a company, a local organization, a car dealership who wants to take his top 10 salespeople on a trip of some sort. You can certainly say myself and our full-time staff member, Jane, will take care of the coordinating of things once we curate the experience, right? All of a sudden, you become a real business that hires humans. This also is a great way for us to ensure that the government sees that even solopreneurs bring on one person, even if it's a part-time employee, you now add to the number of employees and hirings within our country. As ASTA goes and walks in the halls of legislation, we have to talk a lot about independent contractors, and we have to explain that what you guys do is you're a business owner, but no, you don't really employ people. You use other independent contractors. It weakens our position to a certain degree. So for me, it's really about hiring humans that are going to be committed to your business success as much as you are committed to your business success. And guys, there's lots of support programs out there for you. ADP has an excellent program, super inexpensive, that will process that payroll for you. Yes, it may seem scary. Start as a part-time, but hire them as a human and watch how you, I don't know, stand a little straighter, roll your shoulders back a little bit more, roll your shoulders back, look in the mirror and go, I'm building a business baby over here. I'm not just relying on third-party, occasional outside assistance to build my business. I'm hiring humans. I had 8 people that I had hired in my consulting practice. All right, where are we scared with that? Anybody scared?
A few people just sharing that they're having a hard time finding dedicated humans, and a hard time finding qualified people. 2 different responses to that effect.
So I think again, I'm not going to tell you how to run your business, but if you're looking only for people who are kind of doing this on the side, you're going to run into that because people are looking for jobs. People want to be part of a team. Right now, I am interviewing for an onboarding specialist for vacation planners, right? And it's a full-time, hourly job right now, but it's virtual. They can work from anywhere in flexible hours. And I'm getting great folks because one of the things they've said is, I've been doing this already kind of on the side, but I'm ready to be part of a team again. And that's one of the number one things I'm hearing from them. I like working from home, but I miss being part of a team. I want to feel like I wake up in the morning and I've got something specific, a goal, something that I'm supposed to do, and I want to help somebody else grow their business. Hence the reason why a lot of people are really excited about the Vacation Planners franchise opportunity, because it's not about just building their business. It's really about being part of something, especially right now, because it's the ground floor. You know, you're going to be part of something that you feel like you look to the left and you look to the right and you've got the same mindset of individual of, you know, leveling up this business, leveling up the professionalism, really elevating what the expectation should be. People want to work for others and they want to be part of a success story. So maybe switch up the way you're describing this job, right? Maybe switch it up and say, I'm looking to hire somebody part-time, right? And make them an employee. That's just my 2 cents. All right, next. This is, I'm very passionate about this. And I think this is my number 7 pivotal move, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, number 7. Be the answer engine. So, Joni, are you familiar with the technology Perplexity? It's an answer engine, it's not like a chat GPT, which is a kind of an assistant, a chat bot, what they call a bot. Are you familiar with the difference between an answer engine and a bot?
Yep.
Okay. So Perplexity is the one I use quite a bit. I use a lot of AI, Claude, everything. I use a lot of AI out there. What I love about Perplexity is Perplexity and AI in general is already retraining the consumer to expect an answer. They don't want options really anymore, guys. They don't want it to be a collaborative venture as we are so used to right now. Now, they certainly want what they want, don't get me wrong, but they're not looking for you to take the information, then come back with 5 options or even 3 options and say, which of these 3 work best? Really what the consumer wants is the answer. They just want to know which one is the best. Now, you could obviously have 2 others waiting in the wings, but I want to challenge you guys to meet your customer where they are. Step up and become the ultimate problem solver by ensuring that you're asking the right qualifying questions. And guys, that is not on an intake form alone. Sorry, people, you need to actually have conversations for your new customers. Your current customers, that's a different situation, but I'm talking about people who are hiring you for the first time, working with you for the very first time, that they want to know that you're asking the right questions, not the who, what, where, why, and how much. Yes, that's important. Don't get me wrong, you kind of need to know that, but more of the emotionally charged questions. What's motivating you to go here? Yes, you said you want to go scuba diving. Tell me more about your scuba diving expertise. Are you a beginning scuba diver, an intermediary, are you advanced? Because what you recommend needs to meet them where they are. So become the answer engine. And what I like about Perplexity so very much is it forces you to ask better questions, because if you type something in that's too generic, it says, sorry, you didn't give me enough information, I need more. It'll say, you know, identify how many, you know, if I say something like, help me write a description for a webinar for travel advisors, you know, in the United States of America that may be interested in learning sales techniques, it may come back and say, how many years have these advisors been in business on average? Oh, that makes a difference. A new travel advisor sales technique webinar is going to be drastically different than an advisor that's been in the business a long time, as an example. So it even knows, listen, I want to give you the best answer, so I have to ask you some extra questions because you didn't give me enough information. It's the same thing with your clients. Think about it. I just want to go somewhere. My good friend Wendy, she's like, I just want to go somewhere. I'm like, me too. Let's just get away for 4 days. Well, I know it's got to be someplace cute and someplace cool. And that's literally all she said. And I was like, all right, well, the good news is I am in the travel industry and I knew she'd love Cape Cod, right? So, but I knew her well enough to know what cute meant and what cool means, and that I have to do a direct flight because she's afraid to fly. And then I know I need to do a Thursday to Sunday because she doesn't like to take too much time off from work, and that it's got to have a spa, and that she loves the water. I knew all these things about her, right? Just as you know a lot of your clients. But you got to ask yourself, new clients, do you know that? Cute and cool, not going to get you anywhere. So those are the 7 pitiful, I can't believe I keep saying pitiful, pivotal decisions. Number 1, decide what you are building towards. It's so important to have that foundation. Number 2, niche or no niche. Make your decision and stick with it, at least from a marketing standpoint. Number 3, segment your database and speak directly to that database. You need to speak to them where they are, not where you want them to be. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, what do you need to complete your technology suite? Start making that list. Do you have a Calendly link, an easy way for people to schedule calls with you? Do you have a website? Do you have a CRM? Do you have an intake form? Do you have automations and workflows in there? Finish your technology suite, a booking engine through a consortium or a host agency. Implement a fee structure. The entire industry really is relying on each of you. Hire a team of humans who are committed to you. That's another pivotal decision. And then be the answer engine they are expecting. If you do these things, this will 100% revolutionize and transform your agency. And back to the mission, it's really the mission of not just vacation planners, but it's the mission really that we all can kind of get around. We all want to elevate the professionalism within the travel agency community. We want to embrace best practices that worked so well in the past, but at the same time innovate for the future. And we all want to ensure that consumers can really understand and expect a consistent, exceptional consumer experience. I mean, none of us can argue with that. I mean, if you can, I'd love for you to type that in there. Yes, Jen, I disagree with one of those 3 things. Let's chat about it. But for the most part, everybody's got the same goal in mind. These are the 3 goals. You know, we want to build towards something that's important to us, and we want to serve and help others. Quite frankly, just go on vacation, people. We want to help people go on vacation. So that's my 7 pitiful. And cheers to that's me with Pinot Grigio. That is a normal 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the afternoon type thing. And I just want to tell you,
4 o'clock's okay.
Because I'm Central Time Zone. Yes, it's 4 o'clock some.
Yeah,
it's 5
exactly.
So with that
So
being
I want to make
said,
sure. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll after you're done.
Yeah, I was going to say, what questions, what challenges, what follow-ups do you have? And I'm sorry, my logo, this animation cut off my logo. I'm embarrassed by that. But go ahead.
Okay, so we do have some questions I'm going to go to, if that's okay. Also, folks, if you have any more questions for Jen, remember, just type those in the questions area, and then we'll go ahead and grab those. So I'm going to start with this one. We're going to roll back a little bit. Can you have more than one niche?
I think what it is you've got to define what niche means to you, right? So if niche is a product style, right, like cruises and all-inclusives, those are 2 different product styles or travel types, really, travel types, is your niche to serve your local community, right? So that's still one niche, but you have 2 travel styles to serve them. If you look at niches as I'm going to use Disney as an example because that's how a lot of people get into this industry is they love Disney. They understand it's one of the hardest things to figure out to do, and it's overwhelming for the consumer. So it's smart on that respect. But if you limit their world to just the world of Disney, you have now become an expert in Disney, and you've limited yourself on helping those families that outgrow Disney or are ready for something else the next time. Your niche could be a location, it could be your community. The niche could be the type of client. If you are all about river cruising and you think river cruising is the best thing and you know everything, then you are an expert in that, then your marketing needs to be all about river cruising. So I think you can have more than one niche, but I think it's really about you defining what niche means to you.
Okay, perfect. Here's another one. Let's see. How do I, what for segmenting your database, are you suggesting that we send out emails, newsletters with content geared towards that segmentation?
Yes. Yep. So imagine, have you ever had this happen? You've registered for a conference and yet you still keep getting emails, it's time to register? Doesn't it freak you
Yeah,
out? It does me at least. Freaks me out. What do you mean it's time
I
to
know. I
register?
go back and make sure I actually did register. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Or, so you clearly haven't segmented even at the very basic level. This person is registered. So if segment prospects and clients, segment if you met them somewhere. And yes, send something different. If you're talking about, if you want to talk to a group of people about a river cruise or about a new family all-inclusive that's just launched, guys, you should be reading Travel Weekly, Travel Professional News. Read those rags. You can see the new stuff out there. If you've got your client, you've got your database somewhat segmented and targeted and highlighted with what their interests are, you can do an email that's as simple as, because I know you and your family haven't, have traveled in the last 12 months and are probably looking to travel again in the next 12 months. This was a new resort I thought of for you. Yeah, now that might only be 20 people, right? So that's the 20, they get a segmented email. The next 20 could be, just couples who don't have kids any longer. Maybe they're empty nesters. Now you can start your email out, not for the same resort, obviously, or you could grandparents, hey, as grandparents, I know you all, you're starved for time with your grandkids. I saw this new all-inclusive family resort and I think this would be perfect for your family, right? So it's yes, I would segment that out. And with a good CRM, it's not hard to do it, guys. It's easy to do it, actually. At vacation
I have
planners,
another question for you.
yeah, I was going to say at
Oops,
vacation
go
planners,
ahead.
at vacation planners, we're doing it for our franchisees because we're going to do all their marketing because it's a lot of work, no doubt. It's a lot of work to segment and then to change your messaging and all that. So we're taking that off the plate for them so that they can just focus on building their community, quote unquote community, virtual community or in-person community. But take the time to segment. If you're going to run this on your own, take the time to segment and change that messaging for them. It's very powerful.
Okay, very true. So someone says yes on fees, but do you think asking fees to be to be paid by via PayPal or Venmo is professional? Good question.
It's a great question. I would say a couple of years back, I would say that sounds really weird, but I think Venmo and Zelle and the Stripe, if you physically have, I think Stripe's got like a virtual version of it. I think it's perfectly fine. People are used to paying that way. But if you're with a
I kind
host
of agree with that. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, people are used to paying that way. Now I pay my hairdresser that way. Heck, there's 3 girls. We've all gone out to dinner together. We're like, all right, I'll Venmo you my portion of it. We're just used to it now.
Yeah, yeah. A couple years ago may not have been the same, but I think now we're all pretty comfortable with it.
It's a great question.
Let's see. Yeah, it is a great question. What's a good rate to offer for part-time help?
It depends on what you want them to do. Yeah, it depends on what you want them to do. I mean, I would say, if you're talking part-time, 20 hours a week, and they're working from home and they're doing data entry, that's $15 an hour. If you want someone who wants to do marketing on your behalf and take over the marketing, you're looking at $20 to $25 an hour for someone who's decent. Now with AI, and again, this is how we're able to do it at vacation planners, I'm going to be utilizing AI in conjunction with a company out in the Philippines who focus on serving the travel advisor community. And so I'm able to do it relatively inexpensively on behalf of our vacation planners franchisees. But it's really what you want them to do. If it's just entering people into your CRM, that's a $12 an hour. That's pay somebody 75 bucks for the week to finish it up when they're ready, when they can. And your area where you live makes a difference as well. But $15 an hour is
Very true.
probably your absolute rock bottom minimum at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, someone has another question about fees, and I'm going to ask this here. She says she's brand new, and how could she justify charging fees as she's just getting started?
Well, first off, don't be walking around saying, I'm brand spanking new. Please don't take me seriously. I don't have a right to make any money. And I know you're not doing it, so I'm being facetious. Charge cancellation and modification fees. Start there. But quite frankly, if you just kick it off, and I bet anybody who's listening to this that started charging fees, they were like, I was so stupid not to do it from the get-go. Just say yes. And at our agency, it's a standard $100 per person planning fee. And that'll be included in your terms and conditions. I have a whole webinar. I talk about fees all the time, but it just needs to be part of your whole thing. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to say why. You can just say, here at our agency, refer to yourself as an agency owner. That's number one. Joni, can you find the webinar that I did and put it in the notes or in the follow-up? That's about I think it's like 5 word swaps, I think is what it's called. If I find
Okay,
it,
I'll look for it.
yeah,
Uh,
something like
if
that.
not, if I find it, folks, I can also send an email out to everybody that attended today, so we can do that.
Yeah, but look for the 5 word swaps. But it's really about how you introduce yourself. I own a travel agency here in Bloomingfield, in Indiana. We focus our efforts on helping our local Indiana folks get out there on vacation. Or I own a travel agency that specializes and works with families with children with autism. Or I own a travel agency that is passionate about helping solo travelers travel right. Like, who's your person, right? Who's your person? What's your niche? That's that niche. And then from there, here's how it works. We're going to get on the phone. We're going to talk for a few minutes. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. And then after this, I'm going to send over our terms and conditions. In there, you will see the fee schedule, which includes the $100 per person curation fee, modification and cancellation fees in there. Once you have signed that and sent it back, then I will get to work on putting together the most amazing vacation for you and your family. Done.
Perfect. Okay, so another one here for you. For segmenting your database, are you suggesting that they send out emails or newsletters with content geared toward that segmentation?
Yes, whenever possible. Now listen, at the beginning, just segment clients versus prospects. Right? So if you've only got your client's information, then this is a great touch point. I would reach out to each client via email and say, hey, I'm scheduling 15-minute chats or 10-minute chats. So you need a Calendly link, which is a free program that you can use, or $10 a month to buy the real program. And just say, right now I'm putting together plans for all of my families for 2025. Let's grab 10 minutes together. And then now you've segmented them. Tell me about the 3 to 4 places you'd like to go in the next 12 to 18 months. Now it's like, oh, we really want to do a river cruise. You know what? We really want to go to Mexico with the entire family. You ask those questions, then you tag them in your CRM, and then you segment. Now when you're sending out an email to just about river cruising, you send it to just the river cruisers the first time. I know you said you wanted to go on a river cruise. I saw this and thought of you. Then you can then say, all right, other people who didn't tell me they wanted to go on a river cruise, but I know they really like going to Europe and they've done it via land before, or maybe they've done an ocean cruise and I want to introduce river cruising to them. Now you pull those ocean cruisers out and you say, listen, I know you've always loved being on the ocean, but I'd love to introduce you to the river cruising. Here are 2 or 3 that I get excited about myself. So you're speaking to them based on what you already know to be true about them. And that's how marketing works, guys.
It's very true. Okay, somebody asked this question and I can answer it, but you can answer it easier probably. What was the AI systems that you like to use? I know you said Perplexity, right? Was one.
Yep, I love Perplexity is great when I'm trying to do some research. I use Claude as my everyday AI. Claude helps me rewrite sentences. I know what I want to say. So half these statements here, Claude helped me write. I rewrote some of them or put them in my tone. I also use ChatGPT. That helps with a lot of stuff. And then I love, oh my God, I just lost it. I'm playing around with Beautiful AI right now. I did not create this presentation in Beautiful AI. It actually did not do a very good job. This is in Canva. And Grammarly. It's not an AI, but I gotta tell you, I love me some Grammarly all day long. That's probably my most favorite. It takes a sentence that you've typed out and I say, make it more playful or make it more persuasive. And it mixes it up for me so that it sounds more persuasive. I'm a good writer anyway. I'm a creative anyhow, but I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. My husband Tom is so addicted to AI, and that's all he ever talks about. So I'm like having to get really involved.
Yeah,
I have no
it's
choice, otherwise we don't talk, you know.
it's yeah, it's broadening our horizons.
It
It's
is.
kind of like what Google did, right? And
Yeah.
I say this to my friends all the time. We'll be sitting around at the dinner table or something, and somebody will say, "What was the name of the actor that did blah 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 blah?" And everyone, what's the first thing they do? They all pick up their phone, and I'm like, "Put the phone down. We have to use our brains. We've got to use our brains." And so it's not that it takes it over, and yes, it's faster to do it, but we also want to still use our brains at the same time.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so I'm going to take this last question and then have a couple just generic ones I'm going to ask you. Somebody's asking, what are your best CRM recommendations?
I am high as a kite on Turn, Tern. This is being developed by actual programmers. They came from Silicon Valley, and they are thinking and implementing features that you wouldn't even know to think about implementing. They are coming up with solutions, not they're not coming up with new ways to do it. They're coming up with solutions of problems that we didn't even know we could have a solution for. As an example, an email confirmation comes into your email. It will read your email and slide that sucker right over to the appropriate booking. I mean, crazy, like things you would
That's
never.
cool.
So Turn, and
That's
then I
right.
would say the next one would be Travel Joy.
How is turn spelled? Is it Tern?
Yep, Tern.
Okay.
Tell them I sent
Okay.
you. We just did a press release. They're our official technology partner. So yeah, they're awesome.
Cool. Okay, and somebody was asking the question if they could get the copy of the slides emailed to them.
Sure.
Folks, we are recording this, so you know, and you'll be getting a link to this to probably
Mhm,
within the next 24 hours, if not less.
mhm.
So that's one thing, and otherwise, Jen can answer to whether or not she wants to send slides out. We don't actually have possession of her slides.
Yeah, just send me an email, Jenn, Jenn, at vacationplanners.com. I'm happy to send this over to you.
Okay, so that answers the other question, which was how can they get in touch with you? So you just answered that as well. All right,
Jenn,
perfect.
Jenn, at vacationplanners.com.
All right, perfect. Sounds good. A lot of people saying thank you, Jen, for this. Now, we do have some prizes to give away, folks. So
Oh, I hope they were
hopefully
paying attention,
somebody's going to win. Pardon me?
Joni. I hope they were paying close attention.
I do too. And we've done a lot of talking, so it's hard to
We
see
did.
if they're going to recall, see what our recall is here. Okay. So we have
Happy.
two questions, folks. The first one is going to win and this is really a prize, trust me on this, a 30-minute consultation with Jenn Lee, and as you can tell by having listened to her today, she's a wealth of knowledge and energy and enthusiasm and everything else. So that 30 minutes is going to be invaluable to you. So hopefully somebody will win that in just a minute. And the other person is going to win a $50 gift card, which will be courtesy of us at Travel Professional News, the OG family,
Mhm.
and our thanks for having vacation planners here with us today. Okay, so the first question is going to the answer is going to win Jen's consultation. So let's start with that one. I'm going to take the ninth correct answer. So be listening, folks. Here we go. It's a long one.
Mhm.
Vacation planners and Jenn Lee's mission is to elevate the professionalism within the travel agency community by embracing the best practices of the past and innovation for the future, ensuring a consistent and exceptional what? Question mark. What is the what?
It's a two-word answer. A consistent and exceptional what?
Okay, our winner. Congratulations, Adriano. Consumer experience. We'll
That's
just write
awesome.
down your name so we can send information to Jen about that. Congratulations on that. Good job. A lot of people were listening very carefully and got that right. We
Oh,
had a million prizes to give. Okay, so here we go. Next one. This one is for the $50 gift card, Amazon gift card. All right, you ready? I'm going to take, Jen, which one should I take? What answer should I take? Give me a number.
7. I like the number 7 because we had
Right.
7 pivotal, not pitiful, but pivotal
There you
decisions.
go. Not pitiful. Okay, no, pivotal. Now you're going to have me say pivotal. All right. The AI technology perplexity is retraining the consumer to expect what?
Oh, you really need to be paying attention. I bet they got it. Seems like a
Yeah, but
smart.
they did. They
Oh,
did. I
good.
got to get to number 7. 1, 2, 3. Oh God, we're just come on, folks. I'm waiting for number 7.
Oh my
Ah,
goodness.
there we go. We got it. Blake, congratulations. Okay. And the answer is answered. So the answer is answer. Okay, so Blake, congratulations. I will be sending you a $50 Amazon gift card, and you'll be getting that shortly in your email. So awesome. And Jen, do you mind putting your contact information up there for a second as we close out? I just want to make sure everybody
I
has that.
actually don't have I just realized I
Oh,
never
you
did put
bad girl.
I am. I'm
Okay.
terrible, but it's easy. It's
No, you're awesome.
yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, it's all good. It's JENN at vacationplanners.com. And you see the
Yeah.
vacation planners down there on the bottom of that
Yeah.
slide. So you can utilize that. Jen, this was awesome. I was so excited to hear about your new adventure, and it's going to be amazing. You're going to kill it. And we look forward to being a part of that with you. I can't thank you enough. And
Well,
everybody here today, thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you, everybody. And those, I'm looking for 50. We're going to launch with 50 experienced advisors for the Founders Circle. And I've already got close to 15 already committed. So we haven't even really advertised. So if you've got any interest or you're just curious, go to vacationplanners.com and just fill out the little form there and we'll send you some additional information. And Joni,
Yeah,
thank you as
don't
always.
hesitate to reach out. Don't hesitate to reach out to her. She's gonna share some amazing information. Hey, this was fun. It was so great to have you back. I've missed you.
Yes, I missed you too. I can't wait to see you at Cruise World in November.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. Well, I hope we'll see a lot of you there as well. Hey, everybody, thank you. Great. Have a great rest of your day. And Jen, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.